Hi everyone, this is Nicola Grace, the Mission Mentor, for our very first episode of the Mission Mojo Show, where I'm going to be helping entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, spiritual entrepreneurs, or people who want to become that to build highly leveraged and successful businesses that are transforming the world. And today's very first episode is all about me proving to you that it doesn't matter what challenge that you have in business, there is something within your purpose that you don't know yet, that you can know, and when you do know, integrate that into your business and you start to overcome that challenge a lot easier than trying to figure it out in your head. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to go over the agenda in just a moment for the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on how many questions you have. But first, I'd love it if you could say hello in the comments section. And if you're watching the replay of this, still say hello so I know you were there listening. And there's going to be a motorbike in the background there for a second. Hey, thank you, Raven, Michelle, that's awesome. Hi, you're welcome. Awesome, it's great to see you. Oh, it's evening for you. It's 1 o'clock for me. So, great to see you all, guys. So let me go over the agenda. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is what it takes to, can you see that? What it takes to build a business without a solid foundation, and what a solid foundation looks like. Really, really important. Then we're going to go over problems that can be solved by knowing more about your purpose. And you're going to challenge me on this, because that's what's next. I want you to give me a challenge. I want you to tell me some of the challenges, issues, problems, or sticking points that's going on for either your business or a business startup if you're still trying to figure out what your idea is. What's challenging you? And I'm going to get challenged to show you how you can know aspects of your purpose to then go into solving it and getting over that challenge a lot easier. I'm going to talk about what are the deeper layers of your purpose that will help you overcome those challenges, so you've got really clear direction at the end of this session. And is there one more? We're going to look at getting started on some of the discovery work. There's a number of ways that you can do that. And then at the end, if there is any specific questions that relate to you personally in your business or what have you, you can ask me and I can help you figure out where to go to get that answered if I can't answer it right away. So let's get started. So number one, we're talking about building a business without a solid foundation. The whole point of me doing the show was something that I got woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure that's happened to you, right? Get woken up 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning with this big brainwave. And I really wanted to chase this statistic. 90% of people in business fail, which means you've got more of a chance of failing than succeeding. And by failing, that means that your business is not helping you pay your bills, and in fact could possibly even be leading you into debt. So, right, that's pretty bad. But in the 1950s and the 1940s, you only had a 48% chance of failure. So when you think about all of the business seminars, all the free webinars, all the guru books out there, How to Succeed, The Law of Attraction, all the personal development work we've been doing over the decades, is that it hasn't gotten us any further forward with success. And you would think we know more now than we've ever known before. So how come we're not more successful? How come we've got more of a chance of failing than succeeding? And if you've looked at any of my work, you'll know I say that part of it is the business model itself is faulty, because it's based on going out there, making money for the sake of money and turning a profit, rather than finding out why you're really here, where your mojo is, what your passion is, what your purpose is, and beginning to build your the foundation of your business around that. So there are many things that go into a purpose-aligned business, and I just saw Alex join us. Hi, Alex. Yay, great to see you there. I've been thinking a lot about you lately, wondering how you're doing. A lot goes into building that solid platform. And I see all too often, and this could be you, people go out and do business seminars, or they'll go and pay for coaching, or they'll do an education program, and then they won't get the results because they haven't got that solid platform first. And I often say to people that if you haven't got that platform in place, like What is your purpose? What are you really here to do? How are you supposed to be showing up in the world? What are your soul expressions? What's your message, your mission, your niche, and your offers? How much are you charging? Like all of those basic elements of your solid foundation for a business. Why would you go and learn anything else until that's in place first? Because you won't get good results, and we're going to prove that as we go through. So feel free to ask questions as we go, as you think of them, so you don't black out on me when I go, okay, is anybody got a challenge or a question for me? And then I'll go back over the tape and then, not the tape, sorry, the comment section and when we come up to that section. So, problems knowing more about your business solves. This really comes from I've been in business now as the mission mentor for 5 years. I have been a business intuitive for a lot longer than that. 20 years, 22 years in online marketing, 30 years in being a serial entrepreneur, having owned many different businesses. Consulted to thousands of people around the world on their businesses. So when I'm talking to you, I'm not only talking to you from an intuitive, I'm talking to you from a successful double six-figure business that's global and a lot of experience. And I have seen it over and over again. And I can tell you that we all fall into these patterns. And I'm not going to say there's very little I haven't seen because that's a bit arrogant, but I do see a lot. And I see the patterns and it tells me a lot. So when somebody comes to me with a problem, it always comes back to the fact that they're not in alignment with some aspect of their purpose. Now, you could even be on purpose, but still be out of alignment with a tiny weeny little aspect. So it's these finer distinctions. And I'll give you an example in my own business. On a daily basis, I'm constantly realigning. If I'm doing an opt-in page or I'm doing a program and people aren't signing up for it in the numbers that I wanted, so I've got my goal and I'm just getting to here, or things aren't flowing as they should be, I still go back to all of the deeper layers of my purpose and go, okay, great, where am I out of alignment? I make the correction and then the flow begins to happen and my business begins to grow again. So it's not something you get done once and you're done for life. It's something that you're constantly doing. So we want that happening for you, right? We want the flow. And in every single time that a new client or a prospective client has come to me and have said, these are the challenges I'm facing, there's always been because they don't know some aspect of their purpose. They may have a general idea, but the details aren't there enough that they can then integrate into their business to get them going and growing. And so that is something that you're constantly working on. So that's point number one. So what we're going to do now is go over a number of challenges that people come to me with. And if you've currently got challenges, now's the time. I would love for you to put that into the comment section. And if you haven't said hello, please say hello. And tell me what the challenges are, and I'll show you where in the deeper layers of your purpose you need to focus to start you overcoming that challenge. So I've just got my trusty little notepad here. By far, the biggest problem that new people coming into my sphere, into my world, come to me with is a lack of clarity of direction. Now, that lack of clarity of direction could be they don't know what business idea to follow. They've got a business, they want to scale and transition, but they lack clarity on how to do it. There are people who've been in business for a little while, they haven't got traction, and they lack clarity on their message, or they lack clarity on their niche, or they lack clarity on their offers. It's clarity that's the challenge, and how do I get clear? And quite often, people will go into business without getting that clarity first. So again, it comes back to that foundation. The foundation hasn't been built with all of the clarity sorted, so they're trying to figure it out on their own. Now, when you try and figure out everything on your own as you go, it's going to take you longer to get there. You're going to be working hard, you're going to be working longer hours, and you're not going to be making as much money because the foundation hasn't been built first. The number one reason why people fail in business, according to the authorities, is because of a failure of lack of planning right from the get-go. They haven't got their business model in place yet. So when you lack clarity, right, there's something missing in your alignment, understanding, and connection to your purpose that once you do get that understanding, you do get that connection, you do get that knowledge and that clarity, you can put your business model together. So if you're lacking clarity on what your message is and how to articulate it, that tells me you don't have clarity on the soul group niche that you're here to serve. And I work with niching very differently from most other coaches and mentors out there. I like to look at what are you really here to do? How are you here to show up in the world, and who are you here to serve? Because that's all in your soul's mission blueprint. Like, what is your blueprint for the best possible life that you can live? When you know that, then you can get clarity on the messages that you're here to actually deliver. And most people, when I work with them on messaging, I find out that their messaging, we need to tweak it a little bit from what they think it is. Then you've got that part of your purpose solved. So do you get that? If you're lacking clarity on your message and how to articulate it, it's because there's a part of your mission blueprint template or your soul's purpose that's missing, specifically who you're here to serve, how you're here to serve them, and the messages you're here to deliver. And when you know that, it's going to start getting clearer as to how you move forward with putting those details into your business model. Sometimes people lack clarity of direction on their business idea. I've got so many ideas. I don't know which one to follow. Who's in that category, right? If you're listening, I'd love to see if that's you. You've got, you could be just about to start a business, and then you can have a business already going, but have lots of ideas, but still it's like, which one is best for me to follow? We track that back. The solution is knowing more about your purpose. Specifically, what's the higher aspect of your purpose, and what is the, what do I want to say here? What is the life mission? So we then know how to get those nitty-gritty details that can give us the clarity on which way to move forward. So for example, I've been recently given an opportunity to do another business other than what I've got on the side. It's highly leveraged. And I go, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? I don't know if it's good for me to do it. Now, when I look at what my mission is, I know what my mission is, so I can look at that opportunity and I go, well, will it help me succeed with my mission? Is it helping me on the path to the success of my mission? Because if it's not, then I don't need to do it, because there's plenty of opportunities that are going to come my way. So now I know how to field all of the opportunities, all of the shiny objects, all of the business ideas that I have, because I can stay narrowly focused, because I know what my mission is, my life mission. And just to let you know that I do life mission very differently. Your life mission isn't what you do in business. It's what you affect as evolutionary change on the planet. So how do you make your mark in the world has nothing to do with what job you have or what business you have, right? That's an evolutionary process. So when we know that, that gives us clarity on what your business mission would be, which is different from your life mission. And when you know your life mission and your business mission, you marry those two together, that's where the mojo starts happening. Now we can start fielding ideas based on whether or not it's going to fulfill that mission and that purpose. And also whether or not you're going to be passionately involved in it, expressing yourself the way you're here to express yourself, through your soul's core ways of expressing. And that's how we determine which ideas to follow. Has anybody got a challenge for me? Like, what challenge are you facing to see if, is that you? Alex, you've got a little bit of a challenge? Hey. By the way, guys, I'm getting over a cold, so I do apologize for having to just do my nose every now and then, and I might even cough. So if you've got, oh, Michelle, you said that's me. Which one was you? What specifically, what was that? The lack of clarity of direction or something else? So while I'm waiting for your challenges to come through, remember, I really want you to give me the challenge. What are you currently challenged with? And I'll show you where on your purpose that's going to help you move forward. And as I said, for those of you who might be just joining me, you might already be on purpose and follow and getting challenges, but that just means there's more to know, or you've just got to go back to your alignment and go, okay, where do I need to realign myself, which is what I need to do. Oh, great. So Michelle says Having lots of ideas, great, but you don't know which to follow. In that case, you've got to start by knowing what is your overall life mission and how are you here as your soul core expressions and which ideas will fulfill that, and then you'll be able to get that known. Natalie is saying, my challenge is working out what I'm offering and how to put it together. Hey, Natalie, great to see you here. Okay, cool. So again, with you, Natalie, we need to go back to your core soul expression. So you've done some work with me, so you know what I'm talking about when I talk about primary expressions, how your soul wants to express itself and where the greatest mojo is. That's where we need you That's where we need you starting. And if you can remind me whether it was connecting or communicating or what that was, that would be helpful. I could get back to you on that one. And that's what we'll focus on. So I'm going to go back to problems, knowing more about your purpose, souls, because here's another one I get asked a lot. I'm doing a lot, but I'm not making a lot. Not making a lot of money, not getting enough clients. So when you're doing, but the results aren't coming forward, that's telling me you're focusing on the wrong things. There's a faster way to get there. And the part of your purpose that you look to are those core soul expressions along with your message and your niche. So we've got a trifecta or a triangle here to go, how does that get fulfilled so I know what's the first piece I need to focus on. So when I've got that trifecta of those elements of my purpose, I go, great, here's what I'm going to focus on. And I call that now money now. What's the offer that marries that core expression, your soul expression, that carries the most mojo, and then how is it being monetized? What are those offers? So that's the purpose getting infused into your offers to the right niche with the right message, and then bang, you're going to start to see results. And again, I have this happen in my business all the time, because especially if you're building a business online, there are months where it's just like, whoa, it's great. And then there are other months where it's not so great. And then there are other months that it's really sluggish. And on a daily basis, I'm realigning and I'm going, how is my message getting out there? Am I really getting in touch with my niche? And I'm actually going to do a show further on, which is all about what happens when you're doing all the right things, but you're just not getting the results. At what point do you quit? And I'm going to really go into that, because quite often you're just not reaching the right niche. You've got the right message, you've got the right offer, everything's in place, excuse me, but it's not reaching the right message, the right niche. Okay, cool. Excuse me. I've had this tickle in the back of my throat for a while now, and it's just been really difficult to shake despite all the herbs and vitamin C I'm on. Here's another one, struggling to make money. Struggling to make money is a couple of things. It's that your mindset isn't married to your purpose, and you don't have your expressions, right? You don't have your core expressions figured out. And because that's where your mojo is. That's where when you express yourself in a certain way, you magnetize people to you and you'll make the money. Thanks, Michelle. It's like, it's just right here in the back on the corner, not in the middle, but right in the corner. So again, if you're struggling to make money, we've got to go back to what are your core soul expressions that have got that magnetic power that when you express and you express those in what you're offering, you're going to get, the most reward back as for all the effort and the give that you're putting out there. Here's another problem that that I hear a lot these days, especially with all the coaching programs out there. You're doing everything gurus tell you to do, but you're not getting results. That's an indication you're not even following your purpose. You might be following a tiny aspect of it, but all of the deeper layers of your purpose aren't being expressed, and they all do need to be expressed. They all need to kind of align so that you can get that flow, and then you can pick up momentum, because it's momentum that builds money. Okay, holding yourself back. That's another problem come to me with. It's like, oh, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I'm holding yourself back. And this is really key. That comes down to not being connected with your message and the passion you have for the people you want to help. Because I can tell you that there are days where, I'm feeling like I'd like to give it all up and go and retreat and meditate for the rest of my life and never have to worry about a thing, right? But then what happens is this little spark comes up within me, and then I go, yeah, but then all the people that I'm here to help won't get the transformation that they can have, and their lives won't be as good as they could be because of my help. And you've got that too. You've got people out there whose lives won't be better because they haven't received your help, right? I just got goosebumps all up my arms on that one. So when that ignites in me, and I remember why I'm really here, the passion comes back to continue with my business. And let's face it, business can be arduous. It's really challenging. And if you're not connected to the passion you have for the message and the people that you're here to serve, it can be very hard to get out of bed some mornings when you're not getting the results that you had hoped for. Okie dokie. So let's go back on to give me a current challenge. And I'm just going to go through here. We've got Alex, I'm so close to pinning down the business strategy and concept, but think I'm overthinking now. And what will it look like? Articulating my life vision is still a struggle. I can't seem to put my soul buzzwords into a statement mission. Any tips? Let me think on that one. Because Alex is a Right Mission, Right Money person who's doing my Right Mission, Right Money program, and you're looking at all of the wording. Okay, so I think you're overthinking it, first of all. And here's another thing that happens that purpose can solve, and we'll look at which part of your purpose do you go back to. You want to connect with the core passion you have for the people that you're here to serve. Reverse engineer back to the message. This is the message I want to give. So if that's the people you're here to serve, this is the message you want to give them. And you don't necessarily have to have that piece clearly articulated, just the general idea. You want to connect with the fire in your belly, connect with the passion for getting out there and speaking it, and then do stream of consciousness writing. Tap away, tap away, tap away until it pops. Because sometimes it does take a moment for messaging to pop in, which is one of the things I do in our Mission Magic program. That's we really start niching down into the copywriting and the marketing, because that is the big piece of it, is how do you articulate it. And I always start with that. It's the same with when I go on stage to speak. If I'm feeling a bit nervous, or I think, oh my goodness, I'm going to forget my speech, I stop, I connect to the passion I have for the message I want to bring to people and the niche that I've got, and then I'll start from there, right? Because you can't go wrong from connecting at that heart-soul connected level. I would go back to heart-soul connection in Right Mission, Right Money, go back into the Right Mission, Right Money Heart-Soul Connection, and go back into mission, module number 2. And just sort of like rework some of those things and get greater clarity on the niching. That whole section on niching would probably be the best place to start for you. So knowing that niche within your purpose and connecting to the passion for it can just really start things flowing again. And of course, you can always join the Mission Magic program. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Alex. So, has anybody else got any challenges that I haven't sorted yet? My challenge is selling my product and making people understand. Michelle, what is your product? So that's always going to be the business entrepreneur's big thing, is how do I get people to understand my product. And when I look at the way I market my business, a straight out sales page just doesn't convey the depths of the transformation that occurs when people work through my magic formula. Because there's so much personal transformation involved, not just, getting all the clarity on that solid platform for your business. So what I've had to do is take a step back further and do a marketing education program before they even get to the sales page. So I'll do videos, webinars, blog posts. So I take people through a journey. Because here's the deal, we don't live in a supermarket anymore online or even out there in the world. People need to know, like, trust you. They need to touch you. They need to understand you before they'll make a buy. Only 3% of the market are impulse buyers. So if you don't have some kind of marketing system to get your message out in smaller chunks and build on that and nurture people to understand what you're all about, where you come from, then you're missing out on about 33% of the market that will buy from you, just not now. They'll buy from you in 3 months' time, 6 months' time, a year's time, and sometimes 2 years' time, right? So that's what I've got going on in my business right now. I've got people who've been on my list following me for 2-3 years, and they're saying, I've tried to figure it out over the last 3 years. I'm not getting anywhere. It's finally occurred to me I actually need help with it, right? Because they're not much further forward after having worked at it for 2 or 3 years. So your clients may possibly be in the same resin-based orgonite. Oh boy, you need to do my Mission Mojo Day, because you're a one-show pony. Really, really tough. So that's orgonite's a crystal, isn't it? And it does some really amazing things. So how are you promoting that? Are you getting and how does that align with your purpose? And does it align with your purpose? Because so firstly, what I was mentioning is, how are you marketing? You may need to educate people a little bit more before they buy, and then after they've presented the offer, afterwards to nurture them. Secondly, and this has just happened with somebody I worked with this morning, sometimes people are selling products because they really love the idea and they're passionate about it, but it's got nothing to do with their mission and what they're here to do to help the evolution of the planet. Or it is, but they're just slightly off and they need to come at it from a different angle. So when you know those deeper layers of your purpose, you can put the whole house together, and then you go, okay, great, this is the way forward. And you're saying trying. I'm not going to do my best voice here for our famous little character in Star Wars, but there's no such thing as try, only do. So I'm going to just make sure I've got everybody's challenges, having a lot of ideas. Yeah, lots of different ideas. Michelle, you're probably a creator, which means you probably need to create something from yourself, from your heart, from your soul. Just got goosebumps up my arms on that one. With whatever else that you're selling, so that there's you in there as well, right? It's not something that's removed from you. Yeah. Cool. So let's look at the deeper layers of your purpose that give you that solid foundation. So when you move forward, you're going to get the best. The best results. Excuse me. I just need to do another little bit of this. There we go. So there are probably more layers to your purpose that I'm going to be talking about, because I'm still on a journey of unraveling and unlayering and learning as well. So the first layer has to do with soul expression. How are you here to express yourself? Because if you go out selling a product or selling a service or doing a program and you're not expressing yourself according to these soul core expressions, I call them primary expression modalities, then you're not in your magic mojo. You're not in that place where you can affect the greatest transformation. You can magnetize towards you. And that's what I keep bringing back myself to all the time. Whenever the day hasn't gone well, whenever the week hasn't gone well, or whenever things aren't flowing, I always come back to that expression. Oh, well, how much am I expressing myself in these core expressions, and how much am I doing everything else? Well, that's why the magic isn't happening in my business, because I'm doing everything else. I'm not really focusing on those core expressions. So that's the first layer. The second layer is, as I've mentioned a lot before, is that who are you really here to serve? Not thinking about your niche from an intellectual perspective. You've got to think about that Who are you here to serve? Because when you do that, what happens when you finally get out to market with your messaging, it starts to get a little bit more magnetic and people get it that they need to be with you. Then there's the message part. What are you really here to deliver as a message? And is your marketing conveying that message? And is everything that you do and you speak about making sure that you're getting that message out into the world? And then what is your life mission? How does that interweave with your business mission? What is the higher purpose? So I teach purpose is something that has to do with the being. So what are the being states that you're actually here to help people achieve? And what are you here to achieve so that you fulfill your purpose? And then how does that align with your life mission in terms of the evolution that you're here to stimulate on the planet? How are you here to make the world better? That's your life mission. And then squeeze those two into your business mission, or inject those two into your business mission. I don't think you can squeeze them in. And then you start to get that magnetism and that magnetic pull there, and now you've got the foundation. And then the next level is infusing all of that into your offers, so you make sure your offers are fulfilling your mission, expressing yourself the way you're here to express yourself, and messaging, the way that you're here to deliver your message. And that gives you that solid platform. And then of course the next step is making sure that the mindset marries, because sometimes you're doing everything right and you're 100% in alignment except for that final little piece where the mind isn't following, or the subconscious mind is in disagreement with you. So you've got to get that mindset part aligned to your purpose. So does anybody have any questions on that so far? Because I'm just going to be here for a few more minutes, and then we're going to stay. We're going to finish. So I want to talk to you a little bit about getting started to doing that work. I don't know if, for those of you who are on my list, you probably got the invitation to a 4-hour workshop I've got coming up. And I love this. I just recently did one on the Gold Coast. It sold out within 6 days, 7 days, something like that. And 4 hours sitting with a small group of people, actually doing some discovery work. I did some magnetization of money, manifestation techniques, and just about everybody all of a sudden has got started to have some flow happening after the workshop. We're going to actually do an exercise where you find out what your big life mission is, and reverse engineer from there to how do you articulate that. So it's not one of those webinars where people are going to, I'm just going to be talking and presenting. I'm actually going to have, like our little workbooks here, and you're going to work through stuff with me, guiding you, mentoring you, giving you my intuitive guidance all the way. And you only have to put down $1 for 4 hours with me. And if at the end of it you loved it and got value, it's $67 if you're doing the online version, or $87 if you're coming live, if you happen to be in certain places in Australia, because we're going to have lunch. And then there's some upgrades that you can do as well. So if any of you are interested to start some of that discovery of really getting that solid foundation in place, then here are the details. And these are all of the different options that you have to choose from. I'm going to be in Sydney, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, and then there's a South Africa one, and there's an online one for the internationals. Or if people can't make it live, to the live ones, they can come to the international ones. Ooh, that looks a bit messy there. So in those doing and discovery days, it's an opportunity to get high-level mentoring, so you get to know my work, but you also start doing something. And this is important because I see too many people going out and trying to sell their products before getting their foundation in place, before getting that platform in place. And so it's just going to take a lot longer for you to get to there. And then I'll see people who've got a general idea of what they want to be doing, and then they go, yeah, I'm going to race out and do it. But they haven't got that foundation in place. Their business model hasn't been completed. So as they try and figure it out as they go, they have more challenges than they need to. And the flow is like, it's an ebb and flow, and it's a lot tougher and more stickier and harder. And then, there are those that just simply have no clue, but then don't do anything about getting that clarity. Because here's the deal. I don't think many of us can actually figure everything out on our own. I think we can figure a lot out on our own because that's how we grow. But the nitty-gritty details, sometimes it just takes somebody else to help you, help you to figure that out. So if you want to sit down we sit around a round table in most places. Sometimes it's a horseshoe with me next to you, behind you, in front of you, working through all of this. And if we're online, we work on Zoom. Just head on over to which one of those dates is going to suit you best and sign up. And as I said, it's just $1 down. And if you got value, you pay at the end of the day. And if you didn't get value, you just tell me at the end of the day, and then you don't get charged. So it's all on me to deliver to you great value. And I'm just going to go through if anybody's got any questions, and then we go from there. And I just want to finish off with a story of a new client that recently came to me in tears. She spent tens of thousands of dollars of getting coaching to learn how to do webinars, learn how to sell her products online, learn how to put her sales funnel together. But she only had one core element of her purpose defined, so her platform wasn't in place. And she's literally only made $20,000 out of $90,000 worth of investment over the last 5 years. So if I was investing that amount of money in coaching, I would want to see some kind of a return on that, right? And she hadn't got return on any of it, and she was more confused because she hadn't got that platform in place. And as I said, most people don't bother to do that work. And most people fail, right? 90% of people fail, and most of it's because of a lack of planning. So Alex, it's good that you're spending a bit more time on planning, but you have it to just go out there and do something right now, right? We worked on what your Now Money Now strategy is. So if you're procrastinating on getting out there and then you're trying to overthink it, that could be a resistance that's coming up for you, right? So you're doing the right thing, but you could speed it up a little bit. And you could do those two things side by side, right? Start getting that Now Money Now happening, because that's the first piece, and then planning for that and just get it into action. So I've just digressed a little bit. Yeah, talking about that solid foundation. And it's like, I say that, True, she says. I say this over and over and over again, and finally it starts to dawn on people that you have to put your pants on before you go outside. That's what it's like, right? If you don't know what your core expressions are, if you haven't got clarity on what your message is that you're delivering to the world that aligns to your purpose and your mission, and the differentiation between your life mission and your business mission, if you haven't got clearly defined your niche, who are you here to serve? So we know that your product has got to go over here, and you need to market it over here instead of marketing it over there. Excuse me. If you haven't got your products and services aligned to those core expressions, then it's always something's out of alignment, and you're racing off doing with a sort of almost like a back that's out of alignment, right? And when your back's out of alignment, you walk slow. And when your back is totally aligned, you move more efficiently, don't you? To the point where you can actually run and pick up momentum. And it's exactly the same with your business. If you're out of alignment somewhere, things aren't flowing. And if things aren't flowing, then you're out of alignment somewhere. And you need to know where you're out of alignment. So for you, Alex, and for you, Natalie, you've got, and anybody else who's done my 5-day challenge, you've got all of the steps you need to keep aligning to. I use that almost daily. Where am I out of alignment? Where can I be in greater alignment? Okay, great. And then that keeps me focused on what I'm supposed to be doing. It keeps me focused on a day-by-day basis on getting there in the most efficient way. Okie dokie. So, if you're listening to this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. If you're on Facebook, please like my Facebook. Follow me on Twitter or whatever platform that you're going to end up watching on this. And this is part of 30 days. I am doing 30 days every single day except the 5th of August. We're going to skip a day because I'm teaching a Mission Mojo day. every single day we're going to be doing something that's going to help you get greater alignment and get greater focus on what's going to get you that breakthrough, what's going to get you to where things are rolling. And I've set my challenge for 30 days, and all of these questions that I'm going to be doing are all based on what questions I've been getting answered in my emails or on social media or in my 5-day challenge. What are the same questions that keep popping up that people seem to be struggling with getting with answers on, and every day at the same time I'm going to be answering those so you get an opportunity to move forward. So you might want to join me on all of those days, or you might want to join me for some of them that make sense to you. So if you go to nicolagrace.com and you go over to my blog, I think there is a schedule there. Or at the top of my blog, I think there is the Mission Mojo show's schedule, actually. Right at the very top, there's a link, Mission Mojo show schedule. And it's going to give you the topics for each of the shows. And I download a lot, so often people will want to watch the specials, the replay. So I'm just looking to see if you're watching the replay on this, still post comments and questions, because either me or somebody in my team can help you and field you into the right direction. And I really want you to join the Mission Mojo days, because it is concentrated time on you. If you haven't done my Right Mission, Right Money program, we start you on one of the core processes of figuring out that big life mission to then reverse engineer what you're doing and get you really strategically focused. We do some manifestation techniques which are really fun, and I teach you my whole purpose to profit formula that is what you need to put in place to get that solid foundation. And then it's up to you to keep aligning and as you move forward. So if there aren't any further questions, thanks so much for being here, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow if you're with me tomorrow, or one of the other days in this next 30 days. Bye for now.